So my name is Millie. I'm from Georgia. And I guess if I had to start at the beginning, there was a lot of abuse in the household when I was growing up. When I was about 10 years old, my mother's parents had intervened and me and my brother went to live with them. And things changed a good deal for me at that point. I was able to finish school and I went on to college. I did all the normal things that a lot of people do, like I owned a home, had a career. Then I got pregnant my last year in college. A few years after my son was born, his father started to become abusive. He had started using drugs. I turned to my family at first, and I left him for a period of time. But at that point, my grandmother, she had early onset Alzheimer's. So I ended up going back to his dad. The abuse really got so much worse after I went back. I felt like he was punishing me for ever leaving him. And my family at that point, they were like, well, this is your own fault. You shouldn't have went back. We lived in a very small town in South Georgia. There wasn't like a Mother's Hope there. There wasn't any kind of outreach. And I eventually started using drugs with him. My family knew about the abuse and they urged DCS to intervene. And they did. And they took my child from me. We need tissue. Once they took my child from me, they placed him with my family. They felt like if I was doing drugs, then, I was just trash. And this is so hard. I knew it was going to be this hard. After I lost my child, the drug use just really spiraled out of control for me. I didn't care about anything anymore. Just, running from the pain and trying to numb the pain. So I ended up at one point, I was literally living on the streets in Atlanta by myself. And now looking back, that seems so extreme. But at the time, I just didn't care. I don't think I really cared that much to live. If I couldn't be his mother. I met somebody, a really good friend of mine, and he was from Indiana, so I came back here to Indiana with him. Not long after we got here, he ended up getting arrested, and then I was living on the streets again by myself, living out of my car. I met somebody, and I ended up getting pregnant, and within 3 weeks of that, I got arrested again for drugs. I was in jail for the first 7 months of my pregnancy, and that was really, really rough. It caused a lot of complications because lack of adequate vitamins in my diet. Once the doctors found out about all the different complications, the jail decided to release me on bond to a Mother's Hope. I didn't know anything about the program at all. I just knew that that's where they were going to let me go, and that was better than jail, so I was going. So when I came to a Mother's Hope, I was about 7 months pregnant. And when I first got there, I met Miss Knoll, who I just love. And it was not what I expected. I remember pulling up and seeing the house and thinking, well, this is the strangest type of shelter I've ever seen because it looks like a home. And that's what it felt like when I walked in. It felt like a home. At first, I really struggled with wanting to be there because I didn't. I felt like there was no way that I could be a mother to this child because I was still so broken from losing my first child, and I felt like I didn't want to mess that up again. I thought many times about just leaving, but there was just something that kept me there, and it was the love that I felt. It had been a very long time since I felt like there were people around me who really wanted me to succeed and who really wanted what was best for me. And that really is the amazing thing about a Mother's Hope. They will really meet you wherever you're at, and they will walk with you until you get to wherever you want to go. One of the biggest things that I gained from being at a Mother's Hope was just the opportunity to be myself again, the opportunity to find myself without drugs in my life. because who you are as an addict is different than who you really are. Just being able to be in a safe space and not have to use, it allowed me to just remember who I was and remember what was important. After that, I was able to find the strength to go after it. And that's what I'm doing now. I feel happy. It feels good to get up and go to work every day. It feels like I'm doing something to move towards my goals. And that just feels amazing. At some point, when you stand back and evaluate what you want in your life and what you want your life to look like, you will realize that a mother's hope is going to be much more in line with anything that you want that is good for yourself or for your child. They're really supportive and encouraging, and you know that they love you. They really care about you, and they really do love you, and it's hard to run from that.